How far would a community go just to keep their favorite game alive? Every year we see our favorite games shut down, updates that divide the community, features getting removed, and decisions that players never asked for. Most people complain for a few weeks, then they move on. But some diehard peoples don't. Instead of waiting for the developers to change the game, they decide to change it themselves. That's exactly how projects like the unofficial Chinese version of Warzone Mobile begin. And if you're not aware, the same happening for Apex Legends Mobile too, but we can save that for another video, right? Right now, let's try to understand what's this drama going on in our community, and should you even care for it, or just wasting your precious time. At first, making an exact Warzone replica sounds impossible, because Warzone Mobile is one of the most technically advanced mobile shooters ever released. It's backed by a multi-billion-dollar company, hundreds of developers, years of engineering, dedicated servers, advanced gameplay style, with strong anti-cheat systems, cloud progression, and constant seasonal updates. So how does an unofficial version even exist? And how does it work? Firstly, this isn't a game built from scratch. According to the developers and the community surrounding the project, they're using Warzone Mobile's own game resources as the foundation, then removing or bypassing the systems that normally prevent the game from running outside Activision's official ecosystem. Things like online verification, server authentication, and other live service dependencies. Yeah, you heard it right. This is how this story begins now, and that's exactly what makes this project so curious. Is it an incredible technical achievement? A passionate fan project willing to provide something that big million-dollar giants couldn't care less for us? Will community even accept the way it sounds? And finally, what are the major concerning things everyone needs to know before getting excited completely? The first question raises, why do community projects like this even exist? And what's the psychology behind this? Most people think it's about money. Others think it's about stealing assets, selling them as duplicate, or whatever more is possible. But in reality, that's may not where these projects begin. Because if we look this way, this kind of project's built by people who genuinely love the original game and want to experience it the way they believe it should have been. Sometimes it's because an update changes mechanics that players enjoyed. Sometimes it's because features get removed, or a game moves in a direction that part of the community simply doesn't agree with. And instead of accepting those changes, some developers decide to build their own version. They want to preserve an experience they feel is slowly disappearing. Nostalgia also plays a huge role. Every game eventually reaches a point where players start saying, "Remember when this game used to be better?" Those memories become powerful enough that some people are willing to spend months or even years trying to recreate that feeling. But here's where the first major problem begins, and I'm going to explain one by one. Number 1, legal challenges. This isn't just about making a game. It's about making a game that's heavily inspired by or inbuilt around an existing intellectual property. And that's where things become complicated. When we think about Warzone Mobile, we probably think about the gameplay, weapons, operators, and maps. But legally, all of those things belong to Activision. The same characters, weapons, savage dialogues, animations that gives us satisfaction, and all of the gameplay we upload on YouTube. Those are not definitely ours. Those creative assets are protected under copyright and intellectual property laws. They're not public resources that anyone can freely redistribute or build a commercial project around. That's why fan projects always walk a very thin line. The bigger they become, the more attention they attract. And attention doesn't just come from players. It also comes from the company that owns those assets. Community projects grow in popularity. Videos start going viral. Thousands of players join, and suddenly the project disappears. Because the developers decide to shut it down themselves, or legal notices, copyright claims, and DMCA requests force them to remove content or stop development entirely. Number 2, let's say you've somehow managed to get the game running. Now comes the real challenge. If you're building a modified version of an online game like Warzone Mobile, you realistically have 2 paths. The first is the easier option. Turn it into a completely offline experience. No real players, no online matchmaking, no server infrastructure, just AI bots replacing human opponents. Therefore, this is the simplest solution. You don't have to worry about maintaining servers 24 hours a day, building a strong anti-cheat system, or dealing with unstable internet connections. Everything runs directly on the player's device, making the project much easier to maintain. But the second option is where things become exponentially difficult, creating private online servers. On paper, it sounds simple. In reality, it's one of the hardest parts of recreating a live service game. Every player has to stay perfectly synchronized. Every bullet fired, every movement, every interaction, every piece of progression data has to travel between players and the server with as little delay as possible. If that synchronization breaks down even for a moment, the experience feels broken. And that's only the networking side. You also have to maintain player accounts, progression systems, inventories, statistics, matchmaking, anti-cheat, and enough server capacity to provide better ping everyone playing at the same time. That's why many unofficial projects rely on subscriptions or donations to help cover the ongoing cost of keeping those servers online. If Activision, like a giant company, gave up, how much profit a small studio can acquire just to keep that game alive? Number 3, even if an unofficial project manages to overcome the legal challenges and get the game running, there's another battle waiting for the developers: optimization and performance. Modern games like Warzone Mobile Mobile are incredibly complex. Thousands of countless systems are all running at the same time. Every new feature has the potential to introduce another bug. Now think about this. Warzone Mobile is developed by a large studio with hundreds of developers, dedicated QA testers, and despite all of those resources, players have still experienced crashes, frame drops, overheating, and performance issues across many different devices. So imagine the challenge for a much smaller community team. With fewer developers, fewer testers, and limited resources, finding and fixing every bug becomes more difficult. Some glitches may never be discovered until players report them. And to reduce those challenges, sacrifices often have to be made. Certain graphical effects might be removed. Some features may not be implemented. Others could be simplified or cut entirely to keep the game stable enough to run. Number 4. This is probably one of the least discussed, but one of the most important concerns. When you download an official game from Google Play or the App Store, you're placing your trust in a company that's accountable for its software, updates, and security. Community-made projects are different. Even if the developers behind the project are completely genuine and have no intention of harming their players, you're still relying on unofficial launchers, private servers, modified game files, and custom login systems that aren't backed by the original publisher. And that's where trust becomes a difficult question. How is your account information being stored? Where is your data being sent? Who has access to the servers? As an ordinary player, you usually don't know the answers. But unlike official games, these projects don't always go through the same security reviews, long-term support that major studios invest in. The risks can range from privacy concerns and account compromise to malicious software, especially if the files are downloaded from untrusted sources rather than the project's official community. In the end, downloading an unofficial game isn't just about experiencing that nostalgia or doing it for curiosity. It's also about asking, can I trust and invest my time on these things? Because how long these dramas can go, one DMCA strike is all what this drama needs to go silent completely. Whether you see this project as a technical achievement or simply a passionate fan experiment, one thing is certain, it proves just how far a gaming community is willing to go for a game they truly love. But now, I want to hear your opinion. Do you want to support this project? Are you excited to try this game even if it costs your security breach? Or you simply want to stay disconnected from this drama and look forward to newer games? Let me know your every little thoughts and opinions, because that's what matters the most for me, and I'll be waiting down here to read your comments. So this is Legacy. See you next time.
Got enemy here.
One target hit. Battery recycling.
Enemy UAV inbound. Change your max. Get your cover.
Enemy destroyed your trophy system.